Hi, my name is Brooke Littman.
And I'm Dr. Deb Littman.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat. Because we drink wine like regular people, with food opinions and absolutely zero pressure to sound fancy.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready.
Okay, well, so today we have, it's always a treat when we have a Swiss wine, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Swiss wine, rarely, if you don't live in Switzerland, rarely do you get to try Swiss wine, unless, I bring you some, which, maybe I'll have to do that. I know I did that for Crystal one year, and she was just so pleasantly surprised at the crispness of the white wine that I brought, and and the kind of the strength of it, the alcohol strength of it. She and I were both so surprised about that. So, because it's small vineyards, they don't produce a ton of wine, especially not enough for exports. And so, mostly, if you drink Swiss wine, you drink it kind of within the border. And so, it's almost like they're hoarding their wine just for locals. And I'm not above that because I happen to live here, and so I get to enjoy it. But this particular one, a rosé, it was Cuvée Rosé Suisse. We found it for 5 francs, so even better, because all Swiss wines are, they're not that expensive, even the ones that have aged a little bit. So hopefully you saw the Instagram post of it, and you saw the bottle, and you saw that beautiful dish that we ate with it. But anyway, let's try our first sip together. Hopefully, you likely don't have it with you unless you're listening to this in Switzerland. Tell me, Brooke, what do you think?
It's good. It kind of tastes more like a white wine than a rosé.
I agree. I think so too. Mm-hmm. It definitely tastes more white wine, very crisp. Very floral as far as smelling it. I definitely smell, what the bees added to it. To me, it's just an easy drinking, chilled wine that I like. And I really hope I can find some more of it. I have 1 bottle extra left, so going to have to save it for a very special time, I guess, because I don't know if I'm going to get this bottle again. But I noticed that down, and I don't know if you remember Munkenbuchsee. Mm-hmm. That's where evidently this bottle is from. So I was pretty excited about.
It's probably from that vineyard we walked past to get to the guy's cellar.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, we went to the wine cellar there in Munkenbuchsee. I was so excited, when I saw, where it was from. So yeah, pretty good wine. Yeah, it calls itself a rosé. It does have kind of a peach color. Mm-hmm. It's it was so funny because right before, we had taken it out of the wine rack, and I said, oh gosh, it looks more like a white wine than a rosé. And then we tasted it. It tastes more like a white wine than a rosé. So a lot of rosés are that pink, and this is a very subtle peach color. Now it doesn't taste like peaches, but that would be nice if it did. Yep. But to me, I definitely smell the flowers. But on the second sip, I definitely, to me, it doesn't taste like it was aged in wooden or oak barrels. So I don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. I didn't find the research on this particular rosé about how it was aged, but it definitely kind of tastes like last week's, or a couple weeks ago, I think it was. A couple weeks ago, we had learned about an Italian vineyard that has a white wine that's aged in stainless steel barrels and or tanks. And so I thought that that this kind of also has that. But maybe it's just I'm thinking about that, and we'll talk more about this. Hopefully we'll get to Slovenia to bring back an orange wine so that we can have it on the podcast, because it definitely has a different texture that almost stops on your tongue. Mm-hmm. This one to me does not really stop on my tongue, but it certainly doesn't flow over my tongue like a red wine. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's like a slow process over my taste buds with this one. I don't know if you kind of feel the same way. But which I don't mind. I mean, the berry notes are very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you thought the same thing. I don't have a strong berry taste like I do in almost every wine that I ever have. But this one, they're very, very subtle. I definitely have the floral smell.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my word for this one, refreshing. A couple weeks ago, you said elegant, and I wanted to bring that back up. When you were talking about your food, you said it's, it was an elegant dish, and I thought, oh yeah, I wanted to say that. And then I looked over my notes and realized I didn't say it. And I thought, oh well, so this is my word. We used. So today, I'm going to say refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of soon to get into the food, but I feel like I always have so much more I want to say about the wine once we've introduced the food. So I want to start with the food a little early, if you don't mind. So tell us about the dish.
Yeah. So I put off looking up this one for until literally the last minute.
And then you had to go shopping.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy to find something about this one. I think this wine is just, like one of those local wines, because we got it from the farm store.
Mm-hmm.
The farmers probably sell it directly to that store.
Yeah,
so it's, probably not going to have much online. So I found some like general knowledge that said like grilled chicken and Mediterranean dishes would be really good. And so I found like a Mediterranean chicken. And I thought it was really good because then I put some garlic pasta with it. It was really good.
It was excellent. It was exactly what I needed to eat. I mean, I was hungry. I needed that big piece of protein. Now, we did forget one item on the dish.
Yeah, we forgot to put the cheese on it.
Yeah, we forgot the feta cheese. But also, you chose not to do olives. Yeah. Because,
I don't like olives.
You don't like olives. So you can, with this recipe, if you do like olives and you don't forget your feta, you'll have a couple of different salt and, I don't know, for me, feta sometimes has a sweet taste at the end. So you kind of will have a little extra salt and sweet if you do the olives in the feta, which I think, this worked either way.
Yeah.
I definitely could see I would like.
Yeah.
I would love the olives and feta, but I also felt like it just for lunch, it was light and and it was filling.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I don't
great.
know. I'm still hungry, but I have been so hungry lately.
Yeah, no, who knows what that is? But it's okay. I didn't need more. I don't think I needed more. I think that what I liked about it was I'd still rather be hungry at lunch because I always want to eat dinner, and it's so funny because your dad does not want to eat dinner.
Yeah.
And so I always get so frustrated that I want dinner.
Well,
dinner, not dinner, the store. I want dinner, and he doesn't. And so I think that a lot of times, I think, gosh, I really, and then I feel kind of, I feel like a hog eating when somebody else is not eating.
Well, I eat 4, technically 4 meals because I have like 2 half meals also on the days that I'm like working out. So, I mean, like, you could just make yourself, like, fried rice like I do. It's so easy, too. Like, I just, except when I have to actually make the rice because it takes 30 minutes. Which is really annoying. But, it's, it's nice. I try to make sure because otherwise you're not eating enough.
Yeah, I'm definitely, and I know I went years. I mean, not taking care of my health, and I mean, my body really paid the price for it. And to wait until 60 to kind of do right, is shame on me. That's all I'm going to say about that. But so I will eat tonight. I will definitely eat something, and I got to just figure out what that's going to be. Well, I want to talk about how this wine works so well with this food. And I know, but so it was funny because I thought, well, I really want to taste. I always want to do this. I want to taste the wine before I taste the food.
Okay.
And so I tasted the wine, and I thought, oh, gosh, I really like this wine. And thought, well, I'm not going to have a second sip because, I have more work I have to do after lunch. And so I thought, well, I don't want to take a second sip until I have food. And then, we got the food together, and so I tasted it. And to be the veggies had stewed in that white wine sauce. And so I felt like, I thought, well, I'll try it with the veggies because I knew the veggies were going to have that white wine sauce and it had the garlic. And so I took a bite of the veggies and then had some wine with that. I thought, oh, well, this really balances. it was a good balance.
I almost forgot to try the wine with my food because I was so hungry. I was just like,
I have days like that. I understand. But I'm glad you did. Because it definitely changed it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it changed it a lot like what we've had with some wines. I felt like you definitely knew what you were getting with this. And, you know, to me, I feel like you can never go wrong with a Swiss wine. So, I can't remember if we've had Swiss. We have had Swiss Reds. It's been a while. But I expected this to have to. I mean, our food was light. It was lighter. The only heavy portion was that chicken breast.
Oh, you don't think the pasta was heavy?
No, I felt like it was so light. I felt the pasta was light because it only had the white wine sauce, the garlic and the butter. And then, you know, when you put the veggies on top of it, you know, you had that. But I did have just a bite of the pasta without all that stuff. And to me, it was light and, you know, it was good. And I really felt like the only heavy part was the chicken. Because even the veggies, you know, they weren't cooked in like an oil or butter. They were really
there was some olive oil.
But it was just enough to barely cover, you know, just enough to keep the pan nonstick, right? It was not a heavy amount of olive oil. And then I just felt like it was a good pairing.
I
just
said
felt
earlier that it's good for like the night before like a run.
Yeah. I think that you would be correct on that. I think that definitely, because you have the fresh veggies. You have your pasta, your carb, you got your protein with that chicken breast. And that chicken breast, the way that you prepped it, it was kind of, you had put the oil down, am I correct? And you had slit it, you know, you had some little scores in the chicken breast, and you had seasoned it, you know, before you put it in the skillet. And it just kind of cooked up. It didn't have like crispy edges or anything like that. It was just inside it was soft. And honestly, it was like, it's almost like it absorbed that white wine and lemon juice once you put that in. And I think that, you know, I honestly could not tell it was a white wine sauce. It was so balanced with that fresh lemon juice that, you know, a lot of times you can tell, but I absolutely could not tell it was a white wine sauce.
And I did not put too much salt in anything.
No, thank you. I know, that was perfect. It was, absolutely was not salty. It was an excellent meal. And I would definitely eat it again. I definitely want the feta next time.
And
maybe I would sneak olives on mine.
I mean, you could put olives on it.
Yeah, because it's easily, I mean, you know, you dish it out, and then if you want to add extra toppings, you could. Because we had it in a bowl, like a pasta bowl, and you know, absolutely perfect. So, nothing competed with each other. I think that's what, you know, especially because I know you mentioned, it says white wine, but we're having a rosé, and you probably could have used the rosé.
I was a little worried about the bottle being too small for me to use a bit of it.
We did buy a small bottle of this. Well, 2 small bottles. I agree, and but I don't mind this. I don't think it competed at all.
No, I think it was good.
Yeah, it was a very good balance.
I think it helped that the white wine was not cold.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because it was able to like warm up to the skillet faster.
I think I want to explore more in my kind of food cooking research about that fresh lemon juice in the white wine. About how maybe that helped with the flavors, because I really felt like I could taste the garlic, I could taste the oregano. I just felt like the fact that you could taste all these flavors without it being a big mess.
Your microphone is dead.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh no, the bars are gone again.
Okay.
They keep showing up and then disappearing.
Yeah. What about now? Because it still shows that I've got a bar.
Yeah, it's showing there's 2 bars on.
Okay. Well, we can kind of go. You want to finish up?
I guess this can be a really short episode.
We can make it short, and so so you know, I feel like I've said enough. I mean, I really like this wine. I would buy this wine again if I found it. Again, you guys come visit us in Switzerland so you can try these great Swiss wines. Anyway, but yeah, we can cut it off from here. And then we'll fix our microphones for next time.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new food pairing. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. And if you don't want to miss out on all our regular weekly episodes along with all of our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.